This is Tom Meyer, Superintendent, Bellevue Community School District, coming to you with this month's or week's Believe in the Blue update. This is our monthly update on the board meeting from the month. That way, we had a board meeting on Monday night, October 8th, and here's some information from it that way. Let everyone know. One thing I want you to know, first off, we have conferences, and I encourage you to come out to those on both Wednesday and Thursday of this week, October 10th and 11th. Those are from 3:30 to 8. We also have a 3-hour early dismissal both days. But some information going on here. Wanted to share, we approved some open enrollments for Logan Drury from Bellevue to Easton Valley. Also, we had some resignations. Lori Plus has been employed in this district for over 30 years, is resigning, and I want to thank her for her employment. The board wanted to do that. Also had some hires. We had Pete Boniface for middle school boys basketball coach, Scott Jeffs for middle school girls basketball coach, and Stephanie Peniston is going to have a contract for a musical assistant this year. And speaking of musicals, Mr. Dockham, Mr. Davies, and Mr. Bakey were all in attendance. Mr. Dockham is the director of the school musical, and it's the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and there'll be some crowd interaction in that, audience interaction. So I encourage you to come out to that. That is November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Those three shared a lot of things of what's going on. Band numbers in 5th grade, we have about 27 members, 5 from St. Joe's, 17 members in 6th grade. In 7th and 8th grade, they're one band in that grade, it's 42, and the high school has 37. The band also got a 2 rating, which is very good, at the state music contest in Dubuque on Saturday at Dalzell Field. We have River Valley Conference Honor Choir coming up on November 9th, River Valley Conference Honor Band coming up on November 9th. Actually, last week we had the River Valley Conference Honor Choir. So we've had students there that way. Some other musical things going on that way, or music things going on, fine arts-wise. On October 23rd, we have our fall music concert that way. And then some of our other concerts at the holiday seasons. The elementary winter music concert is December 11th. The high school winter music concert is December 17th, and the middle school is on December 20th. And since I'm there already, I'm going to go. We have no school December 24th, which is a Monday, through January 2nd. So just so you're kind of aware of some of that information that way. A lot of things happening in the Fine Arts Department. They also had some, they have a Student of the Month right now. They were Ariana Kula, Andrew Peniston, and Jeremiah Salge. So congratulations to them. On another note, we had Jessica Hinchin, who's currently a 3rd grade teacher, was at Maquoketa last year, involved some of the Bellevue students in the Isle Royale expedition that way to the Upper Peninsula. They hike quite a bit there. In fact, they have to hike for about a day to get to where they're going that way. They ride a ferry to get to the island. They totally live on the land that way. There is not any phone service or anything like that. But so Jessica Hinchin, who's now a 3rd grade teacher in Bellevue, and 2 students who represented Bellevue last year were Cameron Hinchin and Odessa Liebfried, and they did an outstanding job of presenting information. The board decided let's move forward with this and keep doing it with some 7th graders based on an application process. So we will be taking 4 or 5 7th graders next year to the Isle Royale expedition that way, and you can find this information about it on our website on the superintendent's page under the board notes for board meeting notes for October 8th that way. You can also check it out on Facebook or on Twitter either way as well. Our business manager, Penny Meninger, completed the certified annual report for the state of Iowa with no difficulties that way. I also went over some other information. We are in a solid position for solvency ratio, unspent balance authority, unspent balance spending authority that way. So we're in good shape in that regard. That money cannot be used actually for a building project or anything like that. We've kept steady. Our enrollment, certified count was October 1st. The deadline to file that is October 15th, working with other districts to make sure we have all the open enrollments taken care of. We're going to be up certified enrollment 17 to 18, maybe a little higher, and our overall enrollment is up right around 27, 28 right now. Biggest enrollment increase we've had in the Bellevue district in many, many years going back in time. So the board also talked about facilities improvement and what our next steps are with the Bellevue Elementary building. Right now we're considering many options, and one of those definitely includes having another referendum, and the question would be, when would that be? Would it be in April? Would it be in June? Would it be in August? Or would it be in November or some other time? We also discussed we can pay off part of the current middle school, high school building, which is has been bonded against that way, and we could likely do that financially around 2021 or 2022, somewhere in that area that way. So have a core facilities team meeting and talk about some different issues that way as well. So we'll kind of go from there. We did talk about some different referendum reasons why it was not successful, anywhere from just being too much money that people did not want to spend that much on it. Some people felt it looked too nice. I have a hard time with that one. It needs to look nice. It's a new building. We had a variety of different things that way. It doesn't need a gym in it. Doesn't need a cafeteria. Well, actually, the cafeteria would just be for serving. We would still do the same thing we're doing right now, preparing all the meals in one kitchen, not making that other investment that way. But a variety of different reasons on why it did not potentially pass, and we'll be reviewing those as time goes on that way. Some other things here, we talked about modified allowable growth to put that in for the school budget review committee for students who were not in our district last year and get funding for them. So I will submit that to the school budget review committee. We do that every year, not a large issue that way. So we'll do that. Driver's education, we approved our agreement, or to continue our agreement with the Mississippi Bend Area Education Agency to provide driver's education for students. That usually is a session in the fall, then a session in the summer. Every once in a while we have an extra session in there. We talked about comment reading and reflection. We had discussion about an article which is online that way, but it talks about different things in 2020 and 2015, how things have changed, and what students and adults need to have to be successful by the year 2020. And the top three things are critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, and creativity. The top three. Going on down from that, you have people management, coordinating with others, emotional intelligence, which is a new one from the last. It's the first time it's been on the top 10. Judgment and decision-making skills, service orientation, negotiation, and cognitive flexibility, being able to look at things in different ways. So that's something you'll see. I also have an article in the newspaper coming out next week. You'll be able to see that in as well. We talked about legislative issues coming up that way, and a variety of different things, anywhere from funding equity to state supplemental aid for schools, mental health issues, online providing funding for that. And ultimately, going back again to the skills that students really need. Problem solving and critical thinking are vital for students, along with the ability to have creative thinking. So we're really looking at that way. I'm also involved with the School Administrators of Iowa, SAI, the legislative panel for that, so I've been involved with some things there. Some of the things that are on the legislative agenda for them are supplemental state aid, the SAVE extension to extend that to 2049 instead of where it ends right now in 2029. School transportation equity, practice for beginning teachers. Do they have to have a certain score? What score should that be? Do they have time to get that score? Do they have to have it right now? Different things there. Talking about IPERS, mental health services for students, whole grade sharing extension, vouchers, and really looking at we need to provide for public school funding. Our nation has been based on public schools, and the success of them is vital for our entire society that way. Also had a safety update. We had a safety drill on September 25th that way with our students and staff participating in. We'll have another one. We're also reviewing and going to be updating our current safety plan that way in recognition of the state of Iowa. We have just a few things to do that way to change, and every time we do a drill, something else kind of comes up. Maybe we should consider doing this. Have some discussions, evaluate that not just with staff and students, but also with parents and some other community members, and also the local law enforcement or county law enforcement that way. Online, you'll see a bunch of different charts like this that way that you can look at and see that way, but those are online on if you go to Facebook, there's a link there, but it's also on the superintendent's page on the Bellevue Community School District website that way. When you get the superintendent's page, it's over on the right-hand side, and it says October 8, 2018 board meeting notes, so common highlights. So, okay, some other events going on in the right here and now. Cross country is supposed to have a meet on Thursday night. That has been canceled due to wet conditions at the course in Iowa City. So that has not been rescheduled at this time. I do not know if it will be rescheduled. Volleyball is involved in the River Valley Conference Tournament. They advanced to the championship round last night by beating 2 out of the 3 teams they faced. So they have advanced to the championship round, which begins at 5 o'clock on Thursday at Tipton. So congratulations to the Lady Comets and the volleyball team. They avenged an earlier season loss to North Cedar last night, so that was great to see. Our high school boys football team is ranked in the top 5 in the state once again. Cross country is also ranked number 4 in the state. Depending on what poll you look at, the football team's ranked anywhere from number 3 to number 5. They play Northeast at home, which is senior night on Friday night, and then next Friday they end their regular season by playing at Cascade. So I encourage you to come out not just to the Northeast game home, but also travel next Friday up to Cascade. Like I said, the musical's coming up very shortly, and I encourage you to be there. Another thing I want to let you know also, October 12th, Friday, there is no school, but also October 29th is a Teacher Professional Development Day, so there'll be no school that day for students. Staff will all be here, or our teaching staff will be. So if you have questions, let me know. Have a good one. Hope to see you at conferences, and we'll go from there. Have a great one.